What works on one format doesn't always do so on another, and it definitely shows in the Commodore 64 conversion of the classic arcade driving game Chase HQ. Poor is a polite term to describe the incredibly sluggish pace of the gameplay. We all know the storyline. Jump into your car and drive along a 3D freeway, dodging the innocent drivers and smash into the criminal's vehicle until he pulls over and gives himself up. It pains me to admit this, but you'll see from this video that the Spectrum version admittedly did a decent job with the conversion, maintaining a decent speed. However, the Commodore 64 could hardly manage a crawl, never mind a high-speed chase. The car tootles along as if it was a clapped-out larder against a backdrop and side objects that can only belong to that mythical world called Jerkyland. It certainly seems that crime is paying more often these days, because the bad guys all seem to be driving around in Ferraris, Lamborghinis and the Lotus. This would make catching them impossible for your run-of-the-mill police cruiser, and especially the Panda car back in the day. In Chase HQ, the law enforcers have decided to provide you with a turbocharged Porsche 928 instead, but it still doesn't feel like that's what you're driving, not compared to the fantastic arcade version anyway. That's the version of the game I remember most. In fact, it wasn't so long ago I was in the arcade club in a nearby town and I found that they had Chase HQ. Couldn't resist playing it. Such a fantastic game with real breakneck speeds. I'll link that video up at the end of this for those who want to check out the old arcades, as it's a good walk down nostalgic memory lane. In Chase HQ, no one ever shouts "pull over" to a criminal like a normal, sane policeman would probably do. Nope, you've literally got to smash their car to bits and force it off the road. Whilst chasing the criminal, you have to negotiate folks in the road signs and other road users, who actually obey the speed limit, all against the clock, of which you are given 60 seconds. In that time, you need to track down the criminal, whilst avoiding the obstacles which will cause a catastrophic loss of speed, and therefore time. Also, taking a wrong turn in the road will hamper your chances of success too. When you finally catch up to the criminal, you are given a further 60 seconds to ram them off the road. It's here that your turbo comes in handy, of which you are given 3 per game. Once activated, you accelerate to speeds of over 300 miles per hour, which definitely gives you the edge for speed. Mind you, as you will see here, it doesn't actually feel like you're going fast at all. Not like the arcade version. All you need to do once you've caught up is to collide forcibly with the back of the rogue driver's car. Each time you do this successfully, a hit is recorded. The gauge indicated on screen records the number of hits left before the criminal will finally submit. Then Nancy at HQ will give you the details for the next mission. Admittedly, your car does respond fairly well to speed and inertia, so screaming round a corner at 300 miles an hour is a bad idea. However, the impression of speed is not great, and it really does seem to advance in slow motion, which is a massive shame for such a true classic game, which is exactly how I remembered it playing first time around as a kid. Underwhelmed. Mind you, the graphics work fairly well, with a good impression of an uneven road created. The sound effects of the engine noise aren't too distracting, and the game does play well enough, but it's perhaps a little too easy, even despite the time limit. I don't think you'll struggle with the driving aspect due to the jerky motion, and never really feeling like you're going fast enough to lose control. In fact, it's just the actual ramming of criminal vehicles that is the hardest part of the game. Once you've mastered that, you'll have little trouble getting through this game fairly easily. That's it, I suppose. Nothing is particularly wrong with Chase HQ, but it seems to lack the polish it needed to lift it above the glut of driving games that were out there at the time. And with only 5 levels, the lastability wasn't one of its greatest points. Personally, I'd go for Chase HQ 2, as I think that game is a massive improvement on the original. But, as all games are certainly very subjective, I'm sure there are many of you that preferred Chase HQ 1 for nostalgia reasons. I think I was just spoilt by playing the game in the arcades first, and was always a bit saddened by the game, which my brother probably bought at the premium price back in 1989. I really wanted to love this game too. Such a shame. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments, and please don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks for watching, guys. Sometimes it's easy to look at particular games through rose-tinted specs, and I'm sure there will be a good few on the channel that you remember being much better than they actually are when you watch them back. But all that matters is the nostalgia and the fact that they can bring back certain memories from a long time ago, when the Commodore 64 was king. In my heart of hearts, it will always be king, and by subscribing to the channel, we can ensure to keep that dream alive. There's many more games to get through, and it'd be great to have you on board to enjoy the journey with me. There's plenty more games on the channel playlist, and more coming up next. Hopefully, I'll see you there. Thanks again for watching, and until the next one, bye for now.
Let's go, Mr. Driver.
Oh man! Bear down. More. Push it more. Please. Oh man! Bear down.
Just want to take a moment to thank the following patrons. It's massively appreciated that you're supporting the channel, covering the games we love. Stay retro.